thinking too.
All right. I know I'm a little late. Y'all got to cut me some slack. All right. Breathe in, breathe out. Here's the deal. This is the part where I ask you guys, can you hear me now? All right. You'll notice I'm on my laptop. Okay. I told you guys I'm out trotting the globe. I packed up my camper, put it behind the Jeep, and off I went. But I want to welcome everybody here to Tactical Tuesday here on TR Live, our YouTube channel. And this kind of cool. Look at this background here, right? It's kind of badass, right? You know where I'm at? I'll give you a hint. I am in Reno, Nevada. I was in Moab yesterday. I know. I'm putting some miles on the Jeep. I just hit 136,000 miles on that thing. Anyways, I'm at the headquarters of Nutrient Survival. I've got Eric and Rebecca, couple VIPs here, and it's Mike, right? Bobby, Mike. Bobby is our multimedia guy who is making sure everything runs awesome for me. So here's what we're gonna do. I want everybody in the chat room to say, "Awesome, Bobby." All right, so you guys can see me okay. We made it. Guys, I'm tired. I have been driving hard for days and days and days. Eric, come snuggle. Pull a chair over here.
I don't think I can fit in frame.
Yes, you will. Watch. Oh, the cool part is I've got room for Rebecca also.
I think only my left bicep fits in that frame right there. Look at that. Oh my God, man.
So come snuggle.
That thing
come
is,
snuggle.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, dude. Welcome. All right. So here's the deal. We're hanging out here at Nutrient Survival. Thank you for the coffee. Check out this coffee cup, guys.
Only the best for you. Okay. Cheers. And it is actually coffee.
It is. Is it vitamin coffee or is it?
No, I think it's real brewed coffee.
Nice.
I don't know. You have to ask Becky. She made it for you. Becky, you didn't put anything special in there, did you?
Just cream and sugar.
Cream and sugar, okay. Like I asked for.
Just like he likes his girls. Creamy and sugary.
No, I actually have one of those bottles of Patron, the coffee liqueur tequila in my camper, along with a big thing of Dreamsicle moonshine, but I'm saving that for the Rubicon Trail.
For the return trip.
Been a rough trip, but anyways, I want to thank you for welcoming us out here. We took off. It's been a long road trip. I've got Mickey with me. He's the guy I do all the overland challenges with, and then I got Toby. I know his wife Karen's watching. He came all the way from North Carolina, but Mickey came all the way from Tampa, Florida. Literally fled the hurricane, and
made it out.
We all linked up in Moab. And yesterday we did Hell's Gate. It was awesome. I know you guys are not. It's called Hell's Revenge. Is the actual full trail. But if you're off-roader, a Jeep or someone like that, it is like the bucket list trail that for North America, basically, that everybody's got to do. So we went and did it.
You posted that up on Instagram.
Yeah, I did. If you guys check out Instagram. Cool. Sorry, I didn't film as much as I told people I would, but the reality is I didn't come out here for you guys. I didn't. I came out here to decompress a little bit.
Well, that's working out great.
Yeah.
I actually had to.
We have a question from the studio audience.
From the peanut gallery.
What is Dreamsicle moonshine?
Dreamsicle moonshine. Is that the question from? See, I know everybody thinks I'm a big drinker. I'm not a big drinker. I'm not. To me, beer is basically liquid grass. Wine, I pour Mountain Dew in it to make my Aunt Helen mad.
That's right.
I do shots of tequila, not for the taste, guys. That's not why you do shots of tequila. It makes you more brave and it makes her better looking. That's why you do shots of tequila. But so anyways, I'm not a big drinker, but I definitely do not like moonshine. Moonshine goes in your lawnmower. I mean, that's what it's for. Yeah. You understand, it's homemade.
It's 100 proof, right?
It's crap alcohol. It belongs in a lawnmower, right? But rednecks will be, oh, you got to try this peach moonshine, and it's got like this brown peach floating in it, and it's supposed to be. It tastes like a a mason jar of lawnmower gas with a peach floating in it. It's incredibly terrible. So I'm not a big fan of moonshine until Moody's in the chat room. Moody 2's wife makes homemade apple pie moonshine, and this stuff it's orgasmic. It's like that hard apple cider you get around Halloween time.
Oh, yeah.
You don't taste the moonshine at all. So okay, right? Okay, that's good. It's watered down. It's watered down a little. But I had a guy make, we are again Overland Challenge, and he has a pint of dreamsicle moonshine. And I don't like moonshine. He brings this thing out, and it is neon orange. I mean, it's literally that orange, that orange. And I was like, so it's moonshine that you mix orange sherbet ice cream in, and that's what it tastes like. It tastes like one of those orange push-up pops when you were a kid, right? Everybody liked them when you were a kid. And that's not what it is. It's not. So apparently you've got to add vanilla extract and orange juice, and you've got to boil it down, and you've got to do this. And it takes like 2 weeks to make it. I don't care what it takes to make dreamsicle moonshine. I just encourage everyone to make it and send me pint jars of it, because it's really awesome. It makes for great off-road trips. So anyways, if you're new to our live streams here, this is not how we usually do it.
I'll tell you what, Carl, I'm seeing some familiar names. I think you're getting a lot of our traffic over here.
Which
Busy Girls
which is
here,
awesome. Which is
Sean
awesome.
Alexander,
Mike
P, Mary Miles.
We just wrapped up
Rhonda.
September, and for those of you that don't know, September is Preparedness Month.
Yeah.
And Nutrient Survival here, they had me on one of their live streams, right? We did.
Yeah, it was a
Right.
little bit before, I think,
Yeah.
but yeah, you were on it. It was great.
But they did a live stream literally every day, and I know I told you all about it, but apparently nobody came over here except for a few. But what's wrong is we need to build up, because these guys put out some really, really awesome material. I learned from them just like I do from Randy and a bunch of other people. So good stuff indeed. So if you're here from the Nutrient Survival Wolf Pack, welcome to TR Live. We are a band of concerned citizens trying to become capable citizens. That's the best way to word it. And that's kind of what I have kind of dedicated my life to. So anyways, if you're new here, I have moderators that will pull questions from the chat, and if Rebecca doesn't do it first, and they will literally they're going to text them to me. The other thing my moderators do is they're going to keep you guys, we're going to try to keep the chat room PG-13. So for all my trolls out there that, you're down in your mom's basement, you went upstairs to get those Hot Pockets and stuff, don't be posting crap here, because honest, I don't need trolls, right? You'll get your one warning. They'll give you a timeout for 300 seconds. And then after that, I just ban you forever. No big deal. No big deal. I want to give a shout out to my blushing bride, Dana. She's back at home watching this. She's probably on her daughter's account stalking.
I don't know.
That's okay. It's all good.
It's so funny. It's like the wolf pack.
A bunch of people
The wolf pack is crashing the asylum. You guys are like, this is the asylum.
What's
Is that
up,
what it's
Wolf
called?
Pack?
His is the asylum.
With the asylum?
Yeah.
They call themselves the
The
asylum.
That's so good.
And we're the wolf pack, and it's like there's a
I can't
scratch.
We have-
a
well,
hatchback.
All right,
There's a
so here's the
crash.
deal. I need Erica, Wildflower, Donut, all you asylum guys. Don't let this wolf pack take over the chat
I'm
room.
just gonna keep
You guys, I need some counter battery fire from my loyal
Am I gonna
follower.
get 300
Counter
seconds
battery.
cut out?
Counter battery fire. I want some counter battery
I know.
fire. All right.
Well, I think the thing is we have so much in common.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
And your angle is, I know we've talked about you a lot to the wolf pack, how, this whole, in fact, it was yesterday, we're talking about you being here and, how you're so entrenched and committed to making concerned citizens capable citizens.
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful thing, because that's really what this wolf pack is about. We're not sitting around waiting for the government to come save us or somebody else to come save us. It is about self-reliance, preparedness, and responsibility.
Yeah.
Being smart. And what you offer, and we've talked about Tactical Rifleman a lot, is just an awesome curriculum. Your catalog of historical videos, films, as well as
got a
you
little bit
guys
of
know this
everything.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
got
then
a
the
video on
live streams
how
are
to
fun,
pit
too.
a car, how to do the pit maneuver. I mean, people look at me like, Carly, I'm not sure you should be putting that out on the internet. But the reality is, a lot of the training that I got in the military, we had to learn not just how to do the pit maneuver, but how to counter against it in case the bad guys are doing the pit maneuver to you. You spin around and you wind up actually right behind them, and then you pit them. I've done more pits in training than probably whole city police departments put together, because they only get to do one pit in the police academy. Some academies, they don't get to pit at all. Their first pit is a live pit trying to disable somebody's vehicle, which I think is sad. So the more I thought about it, was a lot of the things that I've been taught in the military. One, I need to be passing that knowledge on to the next generation of warfighters, but there's a lot of information that should not be restricted just to the military, not just to law enforcement. It's not fair for me or anybody else to make that decision whether you want to learn it or not. It should be up to you whether your family learn certain things or doesn't learn certain things. So we put the information out there. We started the channel kind of as a come visit, watch it, get a taste of it, and then if you want to learn more, come take our classes. And then we realized that people can't always come take classes. A lot of them can't afford it, or they're not just geographically, they just can't, they can't make the travel to do it here. Restricted. A lot of people live like, they don't live inside America. They live in like Germany, France, California. They're just not allowed to come to America to get good training.
We like California, though. We're close to
We
California.
make fun of California.
You're going to be in California tomorrow. You're 5 miles from California.
I'm going to California tomorrow.
And then you're gonna start in California. You're gonna try to get
all
out.
my law enforcement guys in California, understand, I know I'm not allowed to bring an AR to California. I know that. I know I'm not allowed to bring any of the other guns that are in the Jeep either. And you know what?
Scout's honor. You're gonna leave them here.
You see that Jeep? You just steer away.
Turn the other way.
I'm going 3 miles into California, guys. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're here. In fact,
me too.
I wanted to. Unless he's doing it promptly, I wanted to present you, Carl.
Oh man, don't you hate it when you get coined
with a welcome gift?
Oh, coin! Do you have a coin on you? Eric, do you have a coin on you?
No,
not a common. We should have the 101st. I should have my 101st coin because you were in the 101st for a bit.
It's in my man room somewhere.
I wanted to give you this official Wolfpack patch. This is a beautiful patch.
Okay.
It's a gorgeous patch. The embroidery around that is amazing. It works great on all things sticky. Look at that. That looks pretty cool.
That's not
we
bad,
might have to give that to Grant.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
So anyway,
you got now. He already got one.
I do, but this is symbolic. I'll give it back.
I'll
pay it forward to one of the.
He got this one. He actually came. Eric came and did Operation Valkyrie. You see it behind my head. He came and did Operation Valkyrie. Nutrient Survival sponsored it last year. You notice this one's not signed. The one hanging up behind my desk, it has the signatures from everybody. But we had to make 2 plaques, one for the sponsor. Yeah. So great time.
Thank you.
You give me a patch, I give you a patch.
Thank you. I'm going to pay forward to somebody in the Wolfpack for joining in tonight.
There we go.
We'll cover that off.
I lost my patch already.
We'll cover that off. All right.
Found it.
Well, one thing I wanted to do.
Wolfpack.
Hoorah. One thing I wanted to do was I wanted to do a tag team. This is like wrestling. Come on, Becky. This is like wrestling over here.
I want a patch.
Come on. Yeah, here we go. Ready? Come on.
What are y'all doing?
We're doing a tag
team. They're tagging out.
Come on, I'm tagging out. Tagging out.
All
right, guys. So
what's that back? What does your asylum do? Do they make a sound, or they're like creepy silent because they're
creepy? They're creepy. Silent is not one of their strong points. No, I'm joking. I love.
Hi, everybody.
Guys, this is Rebecca.
Carl.
I'm the only one that
call me Rebecca. Rebecca, and it's got like the enunciation. Rebecca. Carl, I got an offering. I want a peace patch. What do you got? You don't have any more? Coin up.
You understand? I can't. So I gave one of these away earlier today.
I'll give it back. It's just for
no. My Jeep has to. It only gets 10 miles to the gallon.
Oh my gosh, how much did that cost?
It cost me nothing.
No. It cost us something. I might have cost us
No,
something.
actually, I'm surprised. It's been getting 12.2 miles to the gallon, which is awesome. No, for my Jeep, that's good. You don't understand.
No, I have a Jeep too. I get
yours doesn't have a 6.4 Hemi in it.
No, it does not.
It's not pulling a trailer.
No, I don't get 10, but I'm getting like 19.
I pulled over to get gas, and the guy at the next pump over was like, "Oh wow, this is so surreal," and I was like, "No, my name's Carl. It's not surreal. That would be a little regal, and don't have to call me sir." No, I obviously he's a fan, and we talked that he wanted to have his picture taken, which I think is cool. Literally at a gas station, he recognized me. I was wearing a Jeep T-shirt, a blue Jeep T-shirt, but I had my tactical rifleman hat on with my sunglasses covering the patch. And he still recognized. I think he recognized the Jeep, but
wow, did you?
So, anyways, I tore the patch off of my hat and gave it to him. So, his name was actually Bo. So he's local.
Bo, are you in the chat?
If you're in the chat, dude, hey, it was an honor meeting you today. That's awesome. It's always great to meet great Americans out there. So anyways, this is my last spare, but I don't have one of those swappage. What?
Nobody's met me in the grocery store and known me.
Right.
But we only have like 1,000 subscribers.
Yes.
Look at the asylum in the pack. How are kind of hanging out. Usually I attack with the wolf patch.
All right.
That's it. You want to get rid of me, right? That's all I got.
No. No, because I want to harass you about.
Eric, they want to know if we could. Sherry Champagne wants to know if we could freeze dry her body when she dies.
Erica,
did she get an answer?
Erica, understand. Well, I know you're serious. I understand you're serious. Honest. I just think because you live closer to me, just the wood chipper. Because I've got the garden and I need to compost anyways. So you don't have to come all the way out here. Come. I'm one state away. Erica will take care of you. Just make sure it's in your will. All right. Because wood chipper rental, because you got to clean it afterwards, all that stuff. Don't worry, Erica. We will take good care of you. We will.
Eric,
I have got a ton of questions for nutrient survival.
Do you want me to answer them? But just so you know, on this thread here, Eric is responding for me right now. So how can that be possible?
Did you not see my comment? I said, Becky is me, I am her. That makes us a bet.
I can't even. They're on a big day. They're on a big.
You are close to California.
They're on a pronoun tear this week. I'm not acknowledging it because I'm just gonna talk in the third person. Becky doesn't like when they have pronoun problems.
No,
week.
Becky don't have pronoun problems.
Becky. I'm just gonna be Becky. I'm Becky. Becky.
Rebecca is female. I am male. And you understand, I'm not politically correct. You guys already know that. I'm just correct. I'm not politically correct. I'm just correct. And if you tell me that I identify as a unicorn, that is the same as you saying I pretend to be a unicorn. And that's completely fine. You can pretend to be whatever you want. That's fine. Just because I don't care. I just don't care. That's not the subject I want to cover tonight, though.
Okay, you want to talk about nutrient survival? Because today's Carl's live stream is sponsored today by us, Nutrient Survival. That's how we sponsor it. We say that every live stream because we sponsor ourselves. It's kind of funny. But I don't know what to really do that because this is your stream. So
no, Nutrient Survival
yeah.
Sponsoring tonight.
We are, yeah. We kind of are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're sponsored by today's live stream is sponsored
you guys understand.
By us.
You gave me coffee and a bottle of water.
I'm paying for the gas.
Yeah, he paid for my gas to come here.
Okay, so we can do the math on that. We know. Is it like?
Which, by the way,
It's $6 a gallon again here. Wait, can I have some money?
Look at all those receipts.
I'm looking at the 20s.
No, I want you guys to realize how many stops at the gas station that is.
Let's
All
see.
right.
Let's just pull one.
I'm
Let's
a,
just pull one.
all right, this is a 16-day trip, and I'm on day 4.
Wait, let's just pull one. Let's just, for the people, just give me one receipt. We'll just let them know what that costs us.
Which one you want? The front? I'll tell you what. The
Just
last
give the middle
one.
one, because we would be in like
Random.
Wyoming or something.
Don't be showing my credit card
I'm not
number.
going to show you credit. This one's not bad.
How much is
Gas
it?
station, $67. Did you
$67.
top it off because you were going to no man's land for some reason?
When you're driving across the Western U.S., you guys got to learn.
Oh,
You
this
fill
was
up your
right here.
tank at
You were in
when you're at
Lovelock.
half full.
He was only in Lovelock. Give me a different one. That's like too close. We got
That was the last time I got gas.
But that was like right down the street. Okay,
I don't know
anyway.
where it's at.
Anyway,
I
I
will
filled
go
up my
look.
tank of gas yesterday in my regular Jeep, and it was 130. So I can imagine what you got going on.
$6
These
a
are not
gallon.
bad.
You know who did that?
No, they're not bad because I fill up at the
Sleepy
half
Joe
a
did that,
tank
Eric.
mark.
Sleepy Joe did that, you guys. He did that at the pump. Does anybody have a sticker to put on the gas tank thing like everybody does? He did that.
The
I
Biden
did
stickers.
this. I did this.
I had to take them out of my wallet to make room. You don't do that?
No, I do stuff like see that with the clap activated on things that are not clap activated. I put stickers on there.
You put them on the
Things that are not clap activated.
yes. Yeah, that's funny. I like the voice the
Voice
activated
voice
ones. Yeah,
activated,
voice
clap
activated. Yeah.
motion
Put it on all
activated.
the hand dryers and
Yeah,
stuff.
the hand dryers at our pole, I put motion activated. I can thank Scotty Look Smasher for that little entertainment.
Oh.
Yeah, see, you get it. Okay, what do you want to ask us? I'm going to defer to Eric as soon as it gets
I
hard.
think he's got the asylum. All
right,
What do they have?
I thought you had Susan doing something.
Do you want to ask about the Rubicon Trail?
Susan's
I
supposed
want
to
to know
be-
all about the Rubicon Trail.
You want to know all about the Rubicon
Is that
Trail?
not like an important topic to talk about? Are you living from Thursday also?
Hold on, I have a question here. Okay, from the asylum. This is from Cassidy Edwards. I think that's one of yours. No? All right, Carl, comma.
Me?
What would you say is the most valuable life skill or lesson you learned from being in the military special forces? Anything you think you wouldn't have learned otherwise? Literally, I learned never give up. Literally, the fight is not over until all the red blood cells stop moving. So if somebody is wounded really, really bad, you don't give up on them and just, oh my God, he's going to die. No, you keep providing the best care you can until he's not just dead, he's cold and dead. If you're in a bad way fighting and you know you're going to lose, you keep fighting until your red blood cells are not moving anymore. Now that sounds drastic, but it's kind of how I word it. But the reality, what it boils down to is never give up. So I'm not big on accepting I can't do something. No, okay. As a Green Beret, if we can't do something, or if I can't do something, let's figure out how to do it, because you can do anything. And one of the biggest things that it's kind of a law in special forces is there's no always and there's no never. There's no extremes. Anything can be done. It may not always be done legally. It may not always be done correctly. But there's nothing we can't do. And an example of that is you train on everything. So we were doing off-road training with the little ATVs, all loaded down with fuel cans, gas cans, rucksacks, everything. And I told my guys to go find a hill that they couldn't get up. So they drove all over the park, and finally they're like, "Hey, Master Sergeant, we found a hill you couldn't get up. There's no way you were going to get up this thing. I mean, there's trees growing out the side of this thing, and it's all loose dirt." And I'm like, okay, all right, now we're going to the top. Everybody's going to the top. And they're all like, so one guy backed up like an idiot and tried to hit it at like 45, 50 miles an hour. He made it about halfway up, and then he came tumbling down, completely trashed the bike. Thank you, taxpayers, for fixing it for us. But we got that one up the hill also. But what we did was we did teamwork. Our bikes have winches on the front and on the back. We had block and tackles. We had toe straps. We had this, we had that. And we literally leapfrogged and basically made a caterpillar of bikes, and we got those bikes all the way to the top of it. And just never give up. That is so easy to say. And it was like, well, you could learn that as a civilian. No, you can't, because that people at work say, all right, hey, we couldn't do it, and it's 4:30, it's time to go home, or hey, I didn't have time to finish it today. We don't have that option in the military. When you're deployed overseas, you are working 24/7, and it might be for 6 months straight. The guys that deploy over there working in the headquarters, they're doing 12-hour shifts every day, and if it's a 7-month deployment, they're doing 12-hour shifts for 7 months straight. There's no weekends there, because we're doing combat ops out on the ground every night, and everybody has to do it.
I'm not laughing.
What you giggling about?
I'm laughing that
She's
Eric's
not
been posturing as me.
She's not listening to you.
I
You're
am.
telling a serious story.
I'm taking notes. I've got the hill, and
She's taking notes.
I have. Well, you haven't been to my office yet. You should see all your quotes on my door.
That's true.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah. What quotes do you have over there?
Train like you fight.
Train as you fight. That's not. Yeah. How about mixing metal and meat together?
No. I don't.
Write that one down.
What does that mean?
Mixing metal and meat together.
What does it
The
mean?
next one, it's just right. Just
Okay,
right.
mixing
Just
meat.
right. We got right. We have more for her, don't we? Right. Anybody worth shooting once is worth shooting twice. Right. Right. Right.
One shoot.
Opening up their minds to bigger and better things at 2,600 feet per second.
Oh, shit.
Right.
I'm writing. Bigger and better thing. 2,600 feet. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Converting terrorists one bullet at a time.
I feel like that could be a diner.
It's actually a t-shirt, by the way. It's actually a t-shirt. I can go on. You don't want me to go on because they start to get
I see why they like you.
evil.
I see why they. My favorite quote is "You serious as a heart attack." That's my favorite one that you say. Serious as a heart
Serious
attack.
as a heart attack.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
I think it's time to tag back
It's
out.
time to tap out.
I think the British Bulldogs
Okay.
need to tap back out. Just for,
Rebecca, always a pleasure.
it might not be over if this goes on. How long does it go?
It depends. Carl, I mean, I think there's one person in this world that can talk more than us, and it's probably you. Just go.
But see, I sat back once and I was hanging
It's
out
entertaining.
with all my friends. So basically, I'm by myself. And I'm sitting there and just sitting back, nothing going on. So I just decided I'm going to sit back. I'm going to start listening to the voices in my head. And I get along with most of them. I do. Some of them, but the cool part is a lot of them don't get along. They all, I get along with almost all of them. And, but some of the shit these guys say is freaking hilarious.
These are the voices in your head.
Dude, I'm sitting there and all of a sudden one of them leans over and he goes, "You ever wonder what a trucker's wallet smells like?"
Oh,
And I'm like,
God,
"What?
stop.
What?" And
I'm kind of intrigued.
You gotta write that one down. That's good.
so anyways, yeah, so sometimes I talk over them and sometimes they interrupt me and it is what it is. So all right. So I had a question. So anyways, I couldn't get here from Moab just today. It was too long of a drive. I had to be here because there's a time change. This is Pacific here. So we started this live stream. We're supposed to start at 5.
It was 5:15.
5-ish.
Close.
So anyway, so we couldn't do it. So we ended up leaving last night after we got off of Hell's Revenge, packed up the campers. We start driving. We stop about 1 o'clock in the morning. And we just drove. And
Yeah.
I was like, we got to get out of Salt Lake. We got to get away from all the humans. Literally, I don't care if you just find a dirt road going off the highway, a service road. All 3 Jeeps are Jeeps and the campers are off-road campers. Literally, we could drive off the edge of the highway, park anywhere, and it's a perfect campsite. We got generators, water,
Yeah.
gas. We got everything we need. So anyway, we end up pulling over at this little podunk rest area, and everything's made out of concrete. The bathrooms are closed. There's a couple porta potties out there, and but there's all this like white salt all over the parking lot, and I'm thinking, well, the mountains, maybe there was snow and the stuff melted. You know, maybe that's what I couldn't figure it out. There's just literally salt everywhere, and I'm sitting there wondering, like, what the hell is all this stuff? And I'll show you guys. So I wake up, and it is the Bonneville Salt Flats. This is where they do the World Land speed races.
Oh, that's
Literally, that's where this little rest area was. It was the big salt flat. You know, you guys have seen them. You've seen it on TV. It's a 10-mile long. They measure 1 mile sprint, but it's 10 miles to allow you to get up to speed. You got to run it this way, run it that way. And you walk out there, and it's salt, and it sticks to everything. So anyways, we went to bed. We're like, hey, we got to get on the road early in the morning. And I woke up early, and I didn't want to be last. So I jump out and brush my teeth, open up the camper, and start making coffee. It wasn't vitamin coffee.
Okay.
It was, but I got my French press and everything.
That's it.
And make my coffee, and glance down at my watch, because they're going to be getting up any minute now. It's 4:30 in the morning. It had only been 3 hours. Toby got up about 5:30, but Mickey didn't get up till like 7. So I made coffee for everybody, and then I drank it all. And then Toby showed up. We made another pot of coffee, and we drank all that. And then I busted out a can of homestyle scramble.
Awesome.
And it was awesome. Why? Because it's always good stuff. It's shelf stable forever, but it's great stuff for camping. The problem though is those cans in a camper take up a lot of space, and I was like, there's got to be a better way to store this. Better way to store it. And I walk in here, and there's all these cans with bags right next to them.
That's it.
Can you reach that one?
I told you we've got these.
Show me the.
Well,
No, that's an MRE one. Get me. Where's my training aid at? Right there. Right there.
Yeah, I got it.
Homestyle scramble, because I'm taking it with me.
But I got lasagna.
No, not lasagna.
Yeah, I know. Oh, how about triple cheese mac?
Yes.
Okay, now
I love that one. Love it. All right, grab me a can too.
This is just a prop.
Yeah, right there. All right, give me a can. Give me a can. All right. This is awesome, by the way. This is when you guys see me.
Oh, look at this. This is actually
All right.
nice. So
All right, so this is the normal can. Matter of fact, there's 2 of these in the camper. I brought 2 of the Mac. I brought 2 of the homestyle scramble, 2 of the Southwestern medley, and then I got all these single serving ones.
Yeah.
But the cans rattle and they take up space. Don't get me wrong, these are great for shelf stable storage. Just ask my wife. We've got let's see how many we have. We have a bunch. But you open it up. I love this stuff, dude.
Is it still good?
This is the same as this. Look how small. That takes up no space at all.
This is like French onions. You know, and you put on green bean casserole if you eat it raw like that. Not raw, but I mean it's freeze dried. That would actually work pretty well, I think.
Who else does that?
This is okay. Now, if you're wanting it raw,
No, it's good.
the Southwestern medley, hands down the best.
You just
The
chug it,
raw.
right? You just chug it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I am.
Anyways, I'm excited about the bags. I am, and this is the same amount, right?
They've only been out for about a year now.
Yeah, but I've been ordering cans because I didn't know any better. All right, Wolfpack, where were you when I was ordering more cans?
No,
Hello.
I'm just joking. I thought we got some of these.
No, you
The
got me
singles.
the NRE.
The little singles too. So you got little singles. Anyway.
So
Oh, you want to talk about that? Well, everyone's seen your video on this.
Yeah, you guys know I did a video. Is this the same one, the Alpha?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure about the components being exact.
Yeah, this is the Alpha.
Might or might not be.
They've got all the different servings on the inside, single servings, and which is badass. But I want to try some of the other ones, see what's in the other
You know, we're giving these away right now. If you order anything and you put in, order anything and you put an NRE in, there's 3 different kinds: Alpha, Bravo, Charlie.
Okay.
Okay. See how we stick
Yeah.
with the military theme? Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. You put in free -NRE and you get this free. So you could buy a triple cheese mac.
All right. Now,
Put
does
this in
that
your-
still work with the TR10 promo code?
No. You can't you can't stack all
Can't
that stuff.
double
So,
dip.
but you could do TR10 and get 10% off. So, you know, you got to decide, but I think if you did
It doesn't. I asked. It doesn't hurt
No,
to
no.
ask.
If you did a
Doesn't hurt
triple
to ask.
cheese mac, and I think that's about $40, $42, I think, or
Yep.
maybe a little more.
And what's one
And,
of these?
and this is 35. But then you put in, if you put this in, that's $35 off.
Well, shit, that beats
It's
the
nice
hell out
little-
of TR10
it's
any
nice
day
little,
of the
nice
week.
little sample.
Okay.
Anyway, that's great because that's a day's rations.
Yeah, and it's not. You're not just eating a whole bag of the same thing. You've
Yeah.
got a variety. So,
Yeah.
like the back of the daughter's car, back of
Yeah.
the wife's
Yeah.
car, a couple different ones in the back of the Jeep.
So easy.
Oh, you're like, oh, I forgot to grab snacks to eat while you're out in that deer stand.
Mhm.
You drove out there. You made sure you brought the gun. You made sure you brought the laser rangefinder. You got the thermos full of coffee, and it's supposed to be filled with leftover Halloween candy. There ain't nothing in there, but you got one of these in the back. So you're golden.
I'll
You're
tell you.
golden.
Speaking of Halloween candy, this is something that we wanted to wait and save for Carl's Rubicon Trail trek
Okay.
because it's trek.
You got to wait
or-
all the way till tomorrow.
No. Well, I mean, you can have it tonight. This is trek or treat. I think Becky,
Trek.
did you come up with that, Becky? Grant came up with it. Somebody came up with it.
Trek or treat.
Did I come up with
I
it?
think it was Nick.
Nick maybe came up. You're right. It was Nick. Nick came up with it, but I think
My Nick.
My Nick.
You're Nick.
Yeah, but Nick, your Nick is on our
Yep.
weekly calls, and he's
Yep.
he's a good contributor.
All right. So they look
So-
like
So they
look like pet rocks.
Are those good to eat? Is that bad?
yeah, these are good. These are good. So Carl, you're such a special guest. These are samples here.
Okay.
Okay, you can try some of those. That is legitimate dark chocolate, 50 milligrams of caffeine.
Guys, it no joke looks like a rock.
and there's 3 different. They're cami colored. 3 different colors. There's
Oh, dude.
olive drab ish.
Easy.
Becky.
Easy. You work here.
Becky loves these things.
No, these are not developed. They're
Okay.
not done yet.
And 50 milligrams of caffeine, 10 grams of protein in one of these guys. 10 grams of protein,
And how much caffeine?
13, 50 milligrams. So coffee
Wow.
is about 125, 150,
Yeah.
somewhere in that. And then 260 calories and 13 vitamins. So we load all that in there. Now that is a very special pack. But we're going to put we put together a zombie apocalypse go bag for Halloween.
Zombie apocalypse go bag for
And
Halloween.
it's basically our 72
You and my
hour-
wife know something is getting ready to happen. And my wife's like, hey, make sure your go bag is packed in the back of the Jeep just in
That's it.
case you have to walk home. I'm like, honey, you realize how far away Moab is? If I've got to walk, yeah, we'll have great grandkids by the time I get home.
That's it. What do you
Leave
think?
some of those.
What do you think? You like those?
Open.
Carl? Are those good?
Uh,
Are those good? You missed.
I hope your shot is better than that shot.
Uh,
Where's Elise?
I missed her head by like 12 feet. I'm going to give you the whole.
you need a scope. That's the problem.
I'm just gonna do random things.
So what do you think? You like that? Dark chocolate? Nice?
That is actually awesome.
Yeah, good. And we saved it for you. We haven't done this with anybody. But
Okay.
We want. Thanks, Becky.
I'm going to eat all of them.
Little advertising.
Don't eat all my samples. What are you
I
doing?
just want a couple. I'm
Okay.
just reading about
Okay. Okay.
She really does
All
like
right.
them. Why?
So anyway.
Because they're good.
it. I should stop. I need to go
So
down.
anyway, so
No, that doesn't
That's it.
taste like survival chow at all.
no, this is
That's good
you know,
stuff.
Becky's so excited about this because we need a morale boost. She calls it a morale boost. I call it a snack. She calls it a morale booster.
Morale
You know,
booster.
like what do you call them? Lickies
Lickies and
suckies?
chewies.
Lickies and chewies. I call them. I don't
What's
like.
that? What's a licky and chewy?
It goes way back.
Sounds a little bit like you have to-
Easy. Keep it
Ah.
PG-13. We talked about this.
So
Keep it PG-13,
lickies and chewies. So at Ranger School, you were allowed to have 2 a day, if I recall.
To what?
2 licky and chewies a day. You could get 2 Jolly Ranchers, 2 pieces of gum.
Not when I went through.
Oh
no.
I went through.
No.
I went through in '93.
I went the winter of '89 when all the orange groves froze in Florida. I was chest deep in the Yellow River and caught frostbite on 4 toes.
Well, after I went, 7 guys
I
died.
spent 5 months in Ranger School.
You know,
5 months.
And that's Carl. I went straight through 66 days, 67, something like that. You know,
like, trust me, I would have rather have done the 58 days.
Which
and
phase
home.
was that? It was mountain. Get caught up in mountain or swamp or what?
No, it was Florida phase.
Oh, Florida. Okay. Yeah.
Mountain phase, November. They expect it to get cold, so you have your Parkers, your VB boots, your vapor barrier boots, everything snow, and they're like, all right, it's really cold, and you want to make a fire. You get to make a finger fire to keep your squad warm in the winter. He didn't go through in the winter, by the way.
No, well, I transitioned. I started in, I think it was March and finished in whatever that was.
Finger fire. You dig a hole as big as your helmet, as deep as your arm, and you were allowed to make flames as big as your finger at the bottom of the hole. And the squad could get, now the squad still had to pull security. Now everybody wanted to build the fire, but understand if you were in charge, nobody's going to pull security. You're going to fail your patrol. So, but we still made finger fires. So one day the RI comes in and he's talking on the radio, and he looks at the PL. We had just done the leader's recon, so we're getting ready to do the raid. And he goes, PL, platoon leader, PL, you forget about that raid. Right now, you bring everybody in. You move them to this location right here. Yeah. Okay, so we moved everybody. We get there. He's like, PL, I want you to build me a fingertip fire right now. And the PL's like, all right, yeah, each squad, you got this big around and that deep of a hole. And he goes, stop. I didn't say finger fire. I said fingertip fire. I want flames as high as my fingertips.
Oh,
and he's standing up. And they're like, what? And
they're like, hoo-ah.
There was a like a blizzard or something coming in. Yeah. Remember, this was '89.
Wow.
So nobody knew about how.
So he knew
no Weather Channel.
He knew you were going to die if you didn't build this fire.
So we built this fire, and the bed of coals was so big. Every squad was laying next to it was a square bed of coals, and you could see where each platoon was out on the mountains. Literally miles away, you could see that square of flames. And then he got the call over the radio. Roger that, the warming tents are set up. All right,
wow.
Put it out, Ranger. And we're like, put it out? There's no putting that out. The bed of coals is 20 feet by 20 feet. There's no putting it out. Empty canteens, we're peeing on it.
Exactly.
No, there's no peeing putting this stuff out. Finally, we got it down enough that the RI is like, all right, that's good enough, go. So we get down to put us in tents, and we got our 3 feet of snow. Everybody passed patrol. In mountain phase, the instructors expect it to get cold. Next phase was Florida phase. It never gets cold in Florida.
Come on. And it still gets cold in Florida.
But
especially if you're wet.
It's cold when you're a student because you haven't had any sleep, you haven't had any food, you're wet, you're only wearing a t-shirt and a BDU top. You're cold all the time, but the RIs, they're wearing a dry suit underneath their uniform. They're warm. Yeah. So they know you're wore down. They just say, suck it up, Ranger, you'll be fine. It's not that cold. We had one night where we were chest deep in the swamps. We got to where the river was, no loom, and we were too slow making the rope bridge across the river. So they made us take it down, go back across, and then do it again. And all the hypothermia set in, and they started taking them out one at a time in the little boat to where the PA was. And guys started dropping so fast. They moved us to this little patch of high ground, and we were using sleeping bags. Each squad had one sleeping bag. We're using the sleeping bags as body bags to carry the passed out Ranger students. Wow. And we're stacking them like cordwood around the fire. Wow. And they decided to bring the PA in with the SF medic. And about that time the PA is almost there, these guys start thawing out because, again, the flames are huge. And he's like, all right. if you can tell them you're cold, but understand you'll be a medical drop ranger. You're not getting your ranger tab. And the instructors didn't want to get in trouble. That's not the day I caught frostbite. It's not. But that was 60 cold weather casualties in a single day.
Wow. That was tougher. I will say that was definitely tougher.
They just the instructors, and I'm not bashing them. They weren't used to it getting that cold like that.
Well, and even so, I mean, the RIs, ranger instructors, RIs, they swap out every 24 hours. So you as a patrol, you're smoked, out, right?
You're wore out.
I remember a guy coming in one time. He had a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken, the new ranger instructor, new RI, and he's just chewing on that. He said, "Hey, Ranger, you want some of this?" I was like, "Yeah." Would you really? Seriously? So he finishes eating it and hands me the bone. And I sucked on that bone.
I bet you did.
That was so good. That was so good. Yeah.
Everybody asked me, how do you pass ranger school? And
how did you used to pass ranger school? Probably is what you mean.
No, but now.
Okay. Now you just got to do 3 push-ups.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in the day, the key to passing ranger school was you had to learn the food chain. Right. What I mean by that is that, your alpha predator on our pretty blue marble we're on is the human being. I understand. And before you try to say, well, killer whales and bears, understand we've got nuclear weapons. Okay. We are the alpha on this planet. That's just the truth. Okay.
So funny.
So you got humans, and then you work your way down through all the mammals and everything. And I understand in each one of them, there are different castes of people. I got that. Okay. Upper class, lower class, workers, this, that, and the other. And that's all mammals are like that. Even bees have workers.
This is true.
Right. That's just the truth.
You know who sits at the top of the bees?
Yeah. The queen.
Never forget.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of parallels. We can learn a lot.
But if you get all the way down the bottom of that food chain, you've got the earthworm, right? You guys have seen earthworm, big night crawlers, right? You get that earth. I understand.
Not very smart.
He's the bottom, but he's really not. You've got the dirt that the earthworm crawls through, that slimy dirt that earthworm's gone through. Yeah. If you can accept that you as a ranger student are at the same level as that dirt, and that's the only rights you have, and all you've got to do is just 1 foot in front of the next and just keep up. Roger that, Sergeant. Nod your head. Doesn't matter if he tells you that the sky is green and the grass is blue. Roger that, Sergeant. I was thinking the exact same thing. Exactly. Thank you for clearing this up for me. Mm-hmm. If you can accept that and not get mad, not take things personal, understand that the guys that are assigned to work for you because you're in charge today, they're not falling asleep because they want you to fail your patrol. They're falling asleep because they've had 1 meal a day for 52 days and they're getting 2 hours of sleep, maybe every day. So if you can accept that worm is worth more than you, and the worm dirt, you and that worm dirt are kind of buds, you can pass ranger school. It's a joke. It really is. All I learned in ranger school was how much the human body could take. It can take an ass whipping. The mind. Oh yeah, mentally, physically, it'll beat you down, and no matter how broke you are, you can always go one more step. One more step.
Carl, I remember I had you're a Green Beret, and admire you for that. It's one thing I do regret never even trying. I mean, I wanted to, but I got out before it happened. Anyway, but I remember having Green Berets in my Ranger class.
Yeah.
And they were crying. They were crying. They were trying to get the Ranger tab, and they were crying. They were breaking down. They did not have the toughness that was required to make it through Ranger school.
Why didn't they have it? Because they had already been through all this stuff and earned that Green Beret, which a lot of people put on a much higher pedestal than that anger tab. Okay. So they thought that they were worth something. Maybe. You notice what I said. The key to passing Ranger school is you've got to put all the pride, put all your rank, put all your past schooling, all your past accomplishments to the side. They don't matter. Worm dirt. Worm dirt. And those Green Berets that will accept that I'm not any better than the E5 that came from 2nd Ranger Battalion or that E5 that came from COSCOM at Fort Bragg. There's no difference. It doesn't matter if you're a lieutenant from West Point. It doesn't matter if you're a E3 from a Ranger Battalion or you're an E5 from the 101st. If you can accept that your worm dirt, it's just so much easier to pass Ranger School. It really is. It is.
So you did a whole thing on selection, right? The Q
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
You get a lot of views on that one. A lot of young guys kind of checking that out,
Yeah.
see what the real deal is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Selection was I had an advantage going into selection because selection is a lot of walking.
Good at that.
Yeah, but it's also a lot of land navigation. Now they give you a couple days classes on the military grid reference system, lat longs, all this map, compass, pace counts.
Signs are remedial. Why would you have to give you that? Is it just brush up or what?
Brush up, but you got to remember, anybody can apply to be SF. You could be a cook, and they didn't get the same training as a satellite imagery analyst.
Yeah.
They didn't get the same land nav training that infantrymen got.
Okay.
Right. So it makes
Yeah, I
sense.
got you.
Okay. So everybody gets the classes, but then you start doing land nav and you're doing basically 12 kilometers during the day. Now you're in selection because you're new at it. You're actually allowed to walk the roads. You can't do that in the SF qualification course, but you can in selection.
Okay.
The advantage I had was I came from a recon platoon in the 101st. So all the infantry guys in the line companies were digging foxholes. I had my scout team out doing screens, and I was always moving. Land navigation was terrain association for me.
Okay.
So I could look at a map
Yeah.
and, hey, this is slow go, this is no go. So where some guys would walk the roads in selection, I could look at it and go, I can go this way, go up around this. But then other guys would try to take shortcuts, and they'd end up getting into this dinosaur thicket.
Oh yeah.
They'd get stuck.
Well, so the dead reckoning, right? You're using terrain
I'm
features.
not big on dead reckoning. What he means by dead reckoning is here's point A, here's point B, compass azimuth 127 degrees for 2,700 meters. Hold your compass, walk a straight line. You're going through all the ditches.
That works in the dark. About the only place.
But even in the dark, I would rather take, when everybody is off running, I take 5-10 extra minutes and plan my route, and I will box around stuff. And I might add a couple, literally extra kilometers, but I'm not having to crawl and get stuck in thickets and sticks up under your eye pro.
That's it. And every time you hit a tree or
sometimes you
go
left, sometimes you go right.
You lose your orientation. You use the azimuth. Even at night it's horrible. You said you went 12 clicks in the day. Yeah. At night you're going what, 2?
No, actually, night land nav in selection was I don't want to say it was 12, but sometimes it was at least 6 or 9.
Wow.
You did it. So I would show up at the last point around dinner time, and the guy, you didn't know when your next point was, because you might get there and he goes, all right, here's your next one, and you be off again. You get there and they'd hand you another one.
Right.
You didn't know. So I'd get there ready for him to give me my next one, and he'd be like, sit down over there, make a fire, eat an MRE. All right, I guess I'm done for the day. And then same thing at night. You'd go until you got that thing. So anyways, I had the advantage for land nav, but when it came to the road marching, my feet were used to having millions of miles on them, and I had good, well broken boots. I brought 60 pair of socks.
60.
with
60.
60.
Wow, that's a lot of sock to carry
I
around.
bought brand new socks to take with me, like 30 pair. And then as I was packing, I still had room, so I brought all my old socks too.
I tell you, it's so key. Your feet health is key. Right?
I would change socks 4 or 5 times a day.
Moleskin, powder.
Lots of moleskin.
Yeah.
Lots of moleskin.
We had guys one time, I remember this in Panama. We spent so much time out in the wet jungle, and we you're walking on soft jungle, jungla. mud slipping around all the time, and it's no problem. And you're moving kind of slow, you know, because it's just not very nice terrain, no roads, of course. And then you have the victory road march back in.
Yeah.
So you come out of the jungle, pop out of the jungle, and you hit the road, and you finish the last 3 miles or whatever back to the fort. Man,
That's when your feet get tore up.
100%. We had guys literally the bottom of their feet, because they've been sitting in water soaking, would
You get what's called trench
fall
foot.
off.
Yeah, you
Skin
guys
would
have.
fall off.
You guys ever
like a
got
pancake.
dishpan hands? You get your feet. I mean, your hands washing the dishes or cleaning a vehicle, whatever it is, cleaning a swimming pool. You get your hands get so wrinkled up because they're saturated with water. Your feet in wet socks, in wet boots, get the same way. Now, he mentioned going through the jungle, but it's the same in the forest or wherever. If you're on uneven terrain, that weight is being distributed. You might roll an ankle more than being on flat road, but it's being dispersed. Once you get onto the hardball road, every step is whacking the same spot every time. Right. And it literally all, like you said, it all sloughs off. Guys nasty. Get massive blisters. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Anyway, that's my war stories. I don't have anything like you have, you know, never.
All right, we have some questions that come in.
Hit it. Yes, your show.
Let's. Again, guys, I know I haven't been doing questions as fast as we usually have, but understand I don't get to hang out with Eric and Rebecca that often. This one's from Jerry J. He is my. He's one of my patrons. He was special forces in the Czech military.
Wow. Okay.
So I have to do my Czech accent.
Absolutely. All right. Do the Czech accent.
Question. Why nobody makes permission anymore? Question mark. It is superfood proven by generations nutrient survival. I'm assuming that's for you.
Permission. Pemmican.
Pemmican. Yeah.
Pemmican. I think that's like beef jerky, right?
No, it's actually. I understand, guys. It's a great source of food, but it's got a lot of fat. Like no joke, like a lot of fat in it. And
Becky, you want to take this one?
Pemmican is a mixture of tallow, dried meat, and sometimes dried berries. Calorie-rich food can be used as key.
But it has a
it's like a picture thing, isn't it?
You make
it looks like the inside of
you mush it into, and you can form it into bars, patties, whatever. But and don't get me wrong, it's a great source of energy, and understand that's what people had back in the day. But
it's because we can make this. That's why, Jerry.
Because we can make this now.
We can make
this tastes a lot better than that. Eating the asshole of a cow with a berry stuck in it. You understand? No, because I've had it. And
the asshole of a cow.
Bison, deer, elk, or moose is in it as well.
And okay. And is it offal? Meaning OFFAL. Offal is guts and whatnot.
It doesn't say that.
No. So it's legitimate meat, but it's just mixed.
Yeah, no, it is good. It is good.
We'll look into that, Jerry. That's a good one.
No, and
how do you say it?
Pemmican. There's actually a brand out there called Pemmican as well.
Well,
it's not freeze dried. It is a great skill for everybody to know how to make. More important, I want you to learn how to smoke fish and meat, and everybody should know how to can.
Smoke fish.
No, not like that. In case you find yourself in a spot where literally you don't have access to electricity, fine.
How are you, Carl? How are you going to can if you're out in the woods?
Pressure boil with. Well, I'm not. You don't have to be out in the woods though. Think about the people. Anyway, it's a good skill to have with your family, because this is awesome. Yeah. But understand, you need to have enough of this stuff to get you through that first growing season, and then you guys need to be able to grow your own chow.
You're right about that.
Once you grow your own chow, you have to be able to store it, and that's where your canning and everything else comes into.
I'll give you that. Hopefully, after a year, you figured it out by then.
Yes.
And plus, to make that, you need a freeze dryer. That is piece of equipment.
You're not making that. Yeah, and I got the Harvest Right freeze dryer.
Small, okay, you can do
I got and I got the largest one they make. It only does 5 trays. I'm really excited about getting the tour of the factory here. We're actually in the factory right now, guys.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We're gonna do that after, if I survive the Rubicon Trail.
You better.
We're gonna do it Friday.
Hey, I don't expense dead people's receipts. Okay.
All right. The next one's from the Gustash 2531. Dude, man, your mom named you weird as shit. Sir, comma. I briefly heard Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann on the Sean Ryan show. I think he said he was retired 7th Group. Have you worked with him, or has he been a guest on your show? I'm not familiar with a Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann. So no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to pretend I don't know him. Next one's from Jim Whitaker. Jim Whitaker. Okay. Hey, Carl, question for my first AR optic, looking at the primary arms SLX micro prism or PA SLX compact scope, are less expensive, both with ACS reticles. Thoughts? Jim, if you're a younger guy and you're looking for a CQB gun, home defense, something like that, just go with the red dot, because their red dots they're tough enough for what you need. If you're an older gentleman that has astigmatism, or you're worried about long-term, what was it, zombie apocalypse?
Yeah.
Zombie apocalypse, where basically the end of the world and you're not going to be able to get batteries ever again, then the micro prism would be better for you, because it has an etched reticle. You can still illuminate it, but every battery on the planet could go bad, and you still have the etched reticle like a regular deer hunting scope. So they're both 1X. So again, price, you're saving a little bit, but if I'm gonna go with a red dot, I'm going with the EOTech. That's just me. I prefer the holographic weapon sight for a number of different reasons. But honestly, a couple of the guns that I have, my work gun, my TR1, has got a primary arms 1X micro prism. It does, with the Cyclops reticle in it. And matter of fact, the AR that's in my Jeep that's not going into California tomorrow also has it's got a, one of them has got a micro prism on it. The other one's got a EOTech. Not supposed to be telling the world.
No, you're leaving that
getting ready
here,
to
right?
smuggle guns into California.
It's just California. You'll be in and out of there before.
I'll be in and out.
You've been to more dangerous places.
Honey,
okay?
relax.
I think you've been to more dangerous
Cross-border ops. I've done these before. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Besides, I've got enough firepower and ammo.
They're shipping this stuff illegally to Panama. He was announcing that on the stream.
No, I said I will. I either will, or I'll have to buy it on the black market.
Okay, see, he's gonna make you look like.
We would always buy AKs. Like,
Yeah.
we go to Ethiopia. As soon as you get there,
It's
you
like-
buy an AK.
It's like a burner cell phone, right?
Yeah, burner cell phones.
Yeah. It's the same thing. You get a burner AK.
I feel like that could be a business right there. You guys just started the burner case.
The burner
It's
AKs.
not a bad business. Yeah, Becky. That's a great idea.
Becky's burner AKs.
I like it. I like it.
And tattoo parlor.
Hey, Rhonda, how you doing?
Bunker, Becky's, burner, AKs, and barbecue. I feel like it needs.
There you go. You got
It needs and barber shop. Like,
a barbershop.
you need a cover, a total cover. Maybe I'll sell lids.
Lids. Yeah, maybe.
Lee's Chinese food and laundry service.
Oh,
That'd
come
be a
on.
good business too, right? All right, we'll do the
You
next
should tell
one.
ask the
Susan
asylum what
got-
they think is a good name for an illegal.
All right. Next one is from Karen Harrison. I want to know, what is the most popular item by Nutrient Survival? Karen's husband, you met today, Toby. This is
Oh yeah. Okay.
Karen is a Jeeper.
Okay.
She is.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Karen and Toby took me and my blushing bride Dana to the 2022 Jeep invasion in Pigeon Forge, which is the Smoky
Yeah,
Mountains.
sure.
We had a blast. There was like
Dollywood, right?
40,000 Jeeps there. It was insane. Most popular item at Nutrient Survival.
Most popular item. Homestyle scramble. 100%. Number one item,
That's
homestyle
what
scramble.
that's what I ate
It's-
today.
It's killer. It's great.
I think that candy's gonna bump.
The candy, I don't know. We'll see.
No, this is gonna be
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
yeah.
But you gotta, homestyle's got 40 essential nutrients, got all that good stuff in there, and super easy to make, and it's got American eggs and potatoes and peppers.
I want to say
and
my
onions.
second favorite is homestyle. Southwestern medley,
Southwest Med, yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm a mac and cheese kind of guy, so this is my number two.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yep.
But yeah, those are my three go-tos. The Jeep has got 2 cans of each, which bags would have been better.
Well,
clunking around.
These are versatile though. You can make a hobo stove out of those. You can.
You understand?
make a
My
big tin
camper
can.
has got a 2-burner gas stove, a sink,
That's
a
true.
freezer, and a refrigerator, a hot water shower, and a porta potty, and a queen size bed, all in that little box out in your parking lot.
It's amazing.
I don't need a hobo
Okay.
Wait, are you
stove.
leaving that here?
What's
Yeah,
that?
He's leaving
It's
it.
out in the parking
We
lot.
should, that's what I should.
Oh, you want to
There's
decorate it like high school kids?
No, I want to sleep in it.
No,
Tourists.
I don't know.
you keep her out of my trailer while I'm
I
out
tell
on
you,
the,
I think you
the
got the
Rubicon
keys.
Trail.
You got the keys.
I do, and it's locked up.
You got the keys.
All right. So those are my favorite for eating, and they're good for 25
Yeah.
years, right? Up to
Yeah.
25 years.
Yeah, freeze dried stuff.
Even if it's open?
25 years. No, if you
No,
open
of
it, then
course
it lasts
not.
probably about a year and a half. I mean, this stuff right here has probably been open for probably a year and a half.
Still
It's
good.
good. It's good.
Yeah,
right.
it is good.
Yeah, it is good. So,
All
I
right.
love that. Yeah, so good question.
This is not what I have the most of at my house, though.
Right.
I want to turn it around a little bit for you because I order this stuff because me and my son eat it a lot because it's great for when we go kayaking. It's great for when we go camping. I literally have got 6 cans and then all these single serving. But at my house, like I said, me and my wife, we have our freeze dryer. We have we can tomatoes, whatever. We've got all this.
Yeah.
If you guys have seen the video that we did with Donnie Dunn on how to do grains and stuff like that in Mylar bags, and you mix the diaphaneous earth in it to kill all the little parasites and everything.
Yep.
Oxygen absorbers, seal the Mylar bag inside the 5-gallon bucket, seal it good, mark it, date it. All that's your long-term stores. So what's the other part of it?
Mhm.
It needs to be things that you can't get. So where I went to nutrient survival is I don't have dairy cows. You got to cook, right? Everybody likes, you've got all these grains and everything you need. You want to make biscuits, you want to make pancakes, you want to make this, you want to make that. You need milk. So vitamin milk, it's a different color can. I don't see it
Blue.
over there.
Yeah. We got it over there. It's blue. I'll get it.
Vitamin milk.
You want me to get it?
But then they've also got vitamin eggs. Now, I understand some guys like to raise chickens. I wanted a chicken coop, but my wife is scared of snakes. And she knows that every chicken coop comes with a chicken snake. It's like a regulation or something. I don't know. So I don't currently raise chickens, but eggs,
Those are
So-
they're just for sure.
vitamin milk. But guys, this stuff is shelf stable. So when people ask, well, what do you have the most of? Me and my son, we go through this stuff a lot because it's good. It's good for you. But a lot of the most cans I have, they are the eggs, the milk, and things like that I can't provide locally. And what I can provide locally is going to be different than what you can provide locally. So when you start doing your preparedness, outline what is it your family needs. You can't just say, well, I need to have so many servings. No. How many mouths do you have to feed? So like I had 17 on the hill. My father-in-law passed away. You met my father-in-law before he passed away.
Yeah.
So I have 16 people on the hill. And then you start looking at so many calories a day and this other, and you want to be able to support, you want to be able to barter, but you also want to be a good Samaritan and take care of people that around you that aren't as prepared. You understand that quickly adds up to a lot of stuff. So once you do that, then start making your lists of what you want. And so, yeah, I have a lot of these. I don't put this in my coffee because I don't need it yet. It stays up on the shelf.
That's right.
So anyways, good stuff.
A lot of
Good stuff.
versatility in those basics too.
Oh, yeah.
You have milk and eggs and butter.
The butter too.
The
Yeah.
butter, yeah. So it's good stuff. Yep. Thank you. And you've been with us since the very beginning. I mean, we've been in business now about 2.5 years as Nutrient Survival.
And then you guys reached out to me that, hey, we want you to try some of our
Becky.
stuff.
Yeah, it was
Let's-
Becky.
Rebecca.
Let's see if I can find
Yeah,
it.
yeah, way back when. And Carl was like,
And I told him, like I tell everybody, look, I'll try your stuff, but I'm not going to lie
I feel
for
it
you.
was like January of 2021.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I came out and saw you. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You're such a great guy, so hospitable.
So Eric
Hospital.
came back from Operation Valkyrie and said that he lucked out that it was the warmest weekend.
Yes, it was.
It was the warmest February probably on record.
Yeah.
It was so warm. It was great.
I'm sitting there
And I
and
still
was
wore
like,
my dry suit because I was, old and
I was like,
I
nobody
get
died.
cold. I get
Nobody died.
cold.
They didn't even come close to dying.
No,
Takes all the fun out of it.
it was. Yeah.
All right. Another
So-
question
somebody
from
was
the
asking
peanut gallery.
Okay. Did you get the one about, somebody was asking about an XT. What was that one? Semper Paratus. Maybe throw that one back in there, Semper Paratus, so we can see what that question is. You were pretty persistent about it.
Which one are you talking about?
He was doing it in the chat. Anyway.
I'm looking. All right, we did that one. I'm looking at the ones that Susan has set us. All right, I think I've gotten all of them, which is okay because we can. Looks like you're not doing questions.
Semper Paratus says, thoughts on the SAM XT tourniquet?
What kind of tourniquet?
SAM-XT.
All right. There's lots of good tourniquets out there, guys. I'm not familiar with that one. I've seen it. I've touched it. I've played with it. It seems like a good tourniquet. I don't want to endorse it and I don't want to condemn it because I don't have enough experience with it. The Academy, the Committee for TCCC, Tactical Combat Casualty Care, they approved 2 tourniquets. Excuse me. That's that. Your
Special
triple
ops
max.
drugs.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he knows. He'll tell you. He's like,
Oh.
yeah,
That's
it's
gonna
all.
be
Yeah,
good for sales.
it's
Thank you.
it's
It's delicious.
it's very delicious. They approved 2 tourniquets. One is the Cat 7. Cat 6 is all the Cat tourniquets are good. And then they approved the Soft T Wide. They're both great tourniquets. If you're only going to carry one, I recommend the Cat 7 because it's easier to put on one-handed. Now, that said, they do not approve of certain ones, and they're looking at other ones. And what I do is I try to get one of everything to play with it. I don't have that one yet, but I have played with it at another class. And there's a lot of great tourniquets, and it seems like they would be awesome until somebody shows you where it fails. Like it literally, you can't, it'll only tighten so far, or if you do this to it, it breaks, and or it can't be used on this limb. And one that they condemn is the it used to be called the RAT tourniquet. Now it's called the Rapids tourniquet, and all it is a thin constricting band. It actually stretches with just a little metal piece that you can actually weave it through to lock it into place. And I used to condemn it also because you couldn't get it tight enough on an adult male thigh. You know, if a guy was shot, you just couldn't get this thing tight enough to clamp off the femoral artery. But then I met the guy, Travis Hall. You guys we've had Travis on the live stream a lot, and he's the one that came up with the idea for it. And he was in Afghanistan, and they brought a little girl. The dad brought the little girl in, and she had stepped on a old Russian landmine, and she's all tore up. She's just blood squirting everywhere. And the Cat 7 tourniquet literally, her limbs were so small,
Wow.
the tourniquet couldn't tighten tight enough to stop the bleeding. So he actually reached over, grabbed a piece of surgical tubing, pulled it tight, and just put a set of curved Kelly hemostats on there, and it stopped the bleeding. And if you guys have followed Travis's career, he runs Second Chance Canine. He went into the military dog handler end of special forces. He still teaches medical, but he also has a nonprofit for rescued working dogs. If you have a small child or you have a dog, a Cat 7 is not going to work. But a Rapids tourniquet will. So when I'm out wandering around on my property, besides the voices in my head, there's nobody else out there. There's not, except my dogs. So the one tourniquet that I'll carry when I'm at home will be my Rapids tourniquet. I run my belt through the top of it, drop it down inside my pant leg. You forget that it's there until you need it. Now, could I carry a Cat 7? I could. But a Cat 7 is not going to work on my dogs. I have a 2-year-old now on the hill, my niece Ada, and a Cat 7 is not going to work on a 2-year-old. So I'm carrying one that I know if I had to self-treat myself, if I whacked myself with the chainsaw, it's not the best tourniquet for the job, but it is a tourniquet that will cover all jobs. So look at that one that you're checking out and try it out. Right? Don't just take other people's words for it. But at the same time, if somebody gives something constructive criticism, ask why. Why do you say no, don't use it? And then you make your own decision from it.
One hand?
Yeah, that's my advantage. The advantage of the Cat 7, it's Velcro.
Yeah.
So everybody holds their arm out, and they
Right.
put. If guys, you get shot in the arm, you're not going to be able to hold your arm out.
Yeah.
Your odds of you catching a bone, having bony compromise, are pretty bad. Hang it down, run the loop up, and you can tighten it down. Just make sure you do it with the windlass on the outside.
See, that's a Randy Worst thing. He's always about, you got to be able to do things with one hand. Make
One
a
hand.
fire, put on a tourniquet.
If you
What
don't,
else can you do?
you don't know with Randy Worst, SF buddy of ours, he runs the worst case scenario survival school. And when Randy, I want to say it was Desert Storm, he got injured, but he had a guy that was injured bad, and snowstorm coming in. He had to make a fire to sit on this casualty for a while, and his hand, he's right-handed. He couldn't use his right hand. Now, if you've ever tried lighting a fire with a ferro rod, right, that takes 2 hands to do that. So Randy's thing is you need to be able to do everything one-handed. So like our Patreon class last year, we're actually doing it in November in Texas this year. I got them platform shooting from a helicopter.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
How'd
on
you
day
swing that
4.
one?
Yeah. Cut into the profit margin, something crazy. Don't get me started.
Hey, you're talking to the wrong guy.
Matter of
We're
fact,
talking
I
about
cannot
profit.
even use the word profit margin. Anyway, I got to remove profit
That's
from it.
it. Dana's
But
listening. She's like,
what
really?
Randy does when they do the fire building is, are you right-handed? Yeah, I'm right-handed. He has you make a fist, and he wraps it with duct tape.
Perfect.
He wraps it with duct tape so you can use it,
Yeah.
but you got to
You
stump.
got a cup or a club. Yeah.
So,
All right. Okay. Hey, I got to go get your son.
please.
The flight's landing at 7:03.
Yeah.
So
Go get my son.
Yeah. I'm going to go
All
get him.
right.
All right.
You don't mind if I eat all your candy, do you?
All right. We'll see you later. Thank you, TR Live. Thank you, crew. Appreciate it. Wolfpack, we'll see you later. All right. God bless you.
He's going.
Masalama ya walid.
I got it.
All right. I need, all right, Rebecca, you're back up.
Okay, I miss the people. They were asking me, you want more chocolate? Gonna bring some lip balm.
You're going to bring some lip balm.
Yeah, what can we do with lip balm for under emergency
Okay.
situations?
I think,
Hi, everybody.
is Susan still here or did she leave?
Oh, I love to respond as Eric. This is so good. Give Becky a raise.
Hey, Donut, if Susan has left, I know she had to work. If she JT said she left, I need somebody to pull questions from the chat. Are you pulling me questions too?
Pull any questions.
He's gonna pull questions for me.
Wait, how can you do that on here with my laptop?
Oh, JT, Donut, you guys pull questions for me also. All right, Rebecca. So what's new? Obviously, you got your Halloween candy. That's going to be great all year long.
Now tell us about the Rubicon Trail. Like, is the goal? Have you done this before?
I have not done the Rubicon Trail.
You have
Really?
not. So the elevation's pretty high in Tahoe. So do you start at like 7,000 feet and then go up to like 10,000 feet, or
it doesn't
you don't
matter.
even know what you're doing?
All right.
It's tomorrow.
The Rubicon Trail dates all the way back to basically World War II, when all the GIs came home. Remember, all their time that they were over in Europe, they were all riding around everywhere in these little Willys Jeeps. And they fell in love with these Jeeps. Well, after the war, just like every war, we downsized the military. All these surplus Jeeps were now for sale for pennies on the dollar. So a lot of Joes, they bought these little Jeeps that they were so familiar with because they're just fun to drive. And out on the West Coast, there was this trail, and they would go run this trail called the Rubicon Trail. And so it actually started with guys doing it with their little Willys Jeeps, became famous, and became the most famous off-roading trail in the United States. Now, the best area for off-roading is Moab, Utah. You go out to Moab, and there are literally there's probably close to 100 trails just around Moab. You got Poison Spider, you got Fins and Things. You've got
Where you just did you say
where I
you
just was.
came? Yeah.
And that's where we're going back to. We're doing 2 days. We're going to do the Rubicon Trail. It's 20 miles.
Which sounds
We're going to
easy.
run it west to east. So we got to go down by Sacramento. There's 3 entrances. We're going to take the one near, what's the name of the little lake?
Tahoe? Loon Lake.
Loon Lake. We're gonna start the trail at Loon Lake, and then there's another lake about halfway through. We're gonna camp out there. We're gonna do the 20 miles over 2 days. We decided to do it later in the year because it is packed all summer long. There'll still be a lot of people there. It's a Wednesday, Thursday, so shouldn't be as much traffic.
So you're not meeting there. Like, this is just a bucket list thing.
Yeah, just a bucket list
So
thing.
how many Jeeps are going with you?
I've got 3
Or
that
off-road
are here,
vehicles?
and I've got another Jeep coming in from California, another friend
So
of
4
our
vehicles are
GF.
going to try to stay
4.
together?
Yeah. Oh, we will. We'll stay together.
It's slow going, right? It's like 3 miles.
Oh, yeah.
2
It's,
hours or something, 3 hours.
It's you'll be using the lockers and 4-wheel drive, and there'll be some spots where you might have to use the winch. No big deal. That part of it is the technical driving aspect of it. The rocks are too big. They're going to tear out your oil pan. They're going to tear out your differential. But if you put your wheel on the big rock, your differential is no longer hitting it when you go over, because a lot of people would go on both sides, but then the rock hits your differential and tears up your vehicle. Hit that big rock with your tire. You've got nice off-road tires that you've aired down to 10 pounds.
Is that what are on there right now?
Yeah. They're not at 10 pounds right now because we're running
But
on
the
the highway.
tires are on there right now.
The tires. Oh,
You
yeah.
just have to take the
No,
air
he
out.
drove out with no tires.
I have a.
I didn't know if he's
I
gonna
just
switch them
loaded.
out,
I
'cause
I
those
put it
big-
in hover mode. No, yeah, they're a little loud. They're not bad. You have a Jeep too, don't you?
I have a luxury Jeep, like a Jeep Cherokee, but I was married to my ex-husband had one of those. It was like a Stormtrooper like yours, and it was like 0 miles an hour.
0 miles an hour. Mine's not quite that bad. But the cool part is there's all kinds of off-road vehicles and side-by-sides and big rock crawlers. And yeah, they can easily go through it. That's not us. We are running street legal vehicles. Literally, Mickey just drove from Tampa, Florida. Toby just came from North Carolina. I just came from Fort
Wow.
Campbell, Kentucky. We've been highway the whole way. Matter of fact, we've been towing campers. We're not taking our campers on Rubicon Trail. We're just doing the Jeeps. We're
So you're
gonna leave
taking
our,
it overnight there? You're gonna stay overnight
Yeah.
somewhere in the middle of the trail?
Yeah, the halfway point.
Is
So-
that like cleared for hanging out? Like, is that?
Oh yeah. You can sleep anywhere you want out there.
No,
yeah.
but is there like certain points of like, you should stay here right now?
You stay anywhere you want.
Like that?
You can.
It's good probably for ear, if you have like vertigo.
You see what I got to work with? No,
I'm, like,
there's
worried,
a
but I'm not
beautiful
worried.
lake about halfway through. I apologize. I don't remember the name of
I
it.
know, I don't understand Eric's computer. I would look at it. Bobby, can you help us?
We
out?
brought food. I've got a tent, 2 sleeping bags because my son, you just saw Eric went to go pick up my son from the airport. I didn't want to make my son ride the whole way with me. What kid wants to ride 16 days with his dad in a Jeep on the highway? Nobody.
But
So-
you can only come in like 2 days. Like if you,
2 days, then we're going to film
yeah,
a
you're
day,
gonna come
and then
back,
he's going
yeah.
to fly home. But then I drive.
You're gonna be on our live stream this week, right? Friday?
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Woo.
Yep. So if you guys want to see me on another live stream, ask more questions. The C word LOL. Sometimes you just never know.
No,
Yeah.
because you could be in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah.
with
Yeah. I
someone
know.
else, yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
Linda said, "Hello, Becky."
Hi, Linda. I'm Eric Christensen right now, and I'm going to approve this message. I'm going to approve my raise on Eric's laptop since he's
Yes.
not here.
If only it worked like that.
There's a movement. You don't know about this, but I have a sweatshirt and everything that Becky needs a raise. But we had to change it because I was getting in trouble for being off-brand. So the raise is an acronym standing for ready, always, in case of situational emergencies.
Okay.
It's a
Carl was
cover.
obviously impressed.
It's a cover. It's a cover. Raise
Okay.
means ready, always, in
Okay.
situation.
I've got a bunch of questions for nutrient survival.
I'm Eric.
I've got a bunch of suggestions for what I want to do with this because I really do love this company. Things that I want nutrient survival to do in the future. But that's a conversation I'm not going to hold publicly with you guys. But I might tell you what their answers are. Let's do that Friday. We'll do that Friday.
We can do it. Yeah.
Nope, not right now.
I'm
No.
approving my I'm approving my
Okay.
raise.
You're approving your raise. I like the way you think. I do.
It's
I like
on
the
his
way-
computer. It is like him talking about it. He's have to. There. I'm Eric Christensen, and I approve
Oh.
this message. Becky gets a raise starting tomorrow.
So yeah, so
Immediately.
the Rubicon Trail
Hey, the
runs.
bots are here.
Rubicon Trail is 3 separate entrances, and then it goes from basically Sacramento. It goes to Lake Tahoe. So up here is where I'm at right now. I'm in Reno, so I've got to drive about 3 hours in the morning to the west to Sacramento. Get on the Rubicon Trail, and then it's 2 days back to Lake Tahoe.
I don't know how to use this.
And if we tear the vehicles up, we'll get them fixed. I don't
Here we
have
go.
to be home till the 16th. So
Here
we'll
we
be
go.
fine.
Loon Lake. Oh, he doesn't have a touchscreen. There's a couple little baby lakes in there.
Yeah.
And then
So
some
we're
shots
going to
up.
start here.
Mhm. And then
We're
you
going
s-
to run up
that
and we're
just
going
say
to
the
stop
3.
right there.
You guys just
So
you can't see it, but no, the lighting. Bobby, give us an image.
Wow, that's great.
That's
See
a
a
good-
white
All
screen.
So guys, we are starting down by the big lake, and then up here basically is right there is where Lake Tahoe is. So that's where we're going to be finishing. It's going to be a good time.
So is it really like a mile an hour?
Yeah, some parts are slower than that. There are some parts that'll go a little faster, but that's part of
Are you worrying
off-road.
about? Do you like have everything for like mechanical failure and like things breaking and things?
She
working?
really don't follow me on the internet. She really don't.
No, but I did watch the Overland Challenge and I saw some crazy stuff that I know that he can do. I know you have the skills like that.
Yeah,
My favorite one was the balancing the Jeep on the thing.
Yeah.
That was pretty
We
cool.
have
It's very
among our
technical.
team, so we all carry tools, right? Some things are repetitive, some things are not. For example, I have an oil filter that fits my vehicle. They both have the same motor, so they have oil filter, extra fluids for the differentials, extra serpentine belt. Why? Because stuff can break, guys. Stuff can break. Battery backups. That my Blue Yeti that I did that video on, guys. That's what I'm going to be using on the Rubicon Trail to recharge the GoPro batteries and the phones and the drone batteries and all that stuff.
It's like
water.
rock climbing for your Jeep.
The what?
It says, wow, that's awesome. It's like rock climbing in your Jeep.
It's like rock climbing in your Jeep. Yeah, that's literally, we're going to be rock climbing in a street legal Jeep.
Again,
So-
I ask dumb questions because I just play smart on TV, but I'm not. So you fill up since we are filling up your tank of gas. Like, is it in any way, because it's only 20 miles, that you'll run through all your gas just by revving? Or do you have to refill your gas?
Maybe, but like I've got 2 extra gas cans. Mickey's got an extra gas can.
So 15 extra gallons on you somehow?
Yeah, we've got extra fuel, and yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Water, we got everything we need. We're not going to a combat zone. We're going to
But Tahoe,
we're going to Rubicon Trail.
Have you been to Tahoe? There's some mountains in Tahoe. I think it's like 12, 13.
You understand? I just drove through the Rocky Mountains to get to Moab. Like
14,000. Is there 14,000?
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm just saying. I hope you got your lungs ready because you're from Kentucky. It sounds sea level-ish to me in Kentucky.
I have stepped out of a airplane at 27,000 feet in the dark wearing an oxygen mask with a rucksack
I forgot who I'm
and guns.
talking to.
Yeah. I've been at high altitude before. I'll be fine.
Okay.
And if I'm not, they can toss me in the back seat and my son can drive. I'll be fine.
Can he drive?
And my son, I will make my son drive parts of it.
Like
yeah.
you'll just
Good
talk him
training
to
for
it.
him. Yeah,
You
that's
think
how you
can
learn.
Can we go before you leave to take me up to there's some we call it like Shotgun Alley up here.
Nah.
It's nothing like that. In my Jeep, we can ruin my Jeep.
Probably not. No.
Why? You don't trust me?
Yeah.
I love a good standard. I can drive standard. Are you standard or automatic? Standard, it has to be, right?
Ma'am, I'm not
Like from
scared.
Rebecca to ma'am? I think that's bad. To go from Rebecca to ma'am, that sounds like a problem. Maybe I should have a special option.
All right, so
I take that as a hard no.
No, I don't have time. We literally leave at 5 o'clock in the morning. But when I come back Friday, yeah, there's all kinds of places. We'll go beat on your Jeep. We'll
No, I wasn't talking today. I meant on Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go driving in the Jeeps.
Yeah.
We can race, Carl. Bobby, this
race.
is the content you've always dreamed of.
Becky destroying her Jeep.
I wanted a new car anyway. I'm getting it detailed on the 17th, so it's be perfect. It's probably going to cost me more.
All right, so I also have this new kinetic bubble rope for extraction, and you got a trailer hitch?
I do.
So we could also do a video of her Jeep Grand Cherokee, her luxury Jeep.
It's not that luxury.
Hooked up to the back of my small little 4-door Rubicon that's old. You know, it's a 2011. And we could see.
I'm a 2012.
We could see who could pull the other one.
Ooh, tug of war.
Tug of war. You want to do a tug of war in the parking lot?
So what, like just physics wise, people help me out. Like, I just have to keep my foot on the gas, or is the person with
That's
the
all you
best
got to
grip,
do?
the person with the grip wins, or the person with the heavier vehicle would win? No? Can I have everybody
Sometimes
pile in
both.
my car?
You can.
So
Okay.
are we allowed to do things like that? Recruit?
Yes. You
So
can.
is it-
I'll
is
let
this
you
like-
do
is this like
whatever
a-
you want.
Is this like
Because
a
I'm going
survival-
to drag your little Jeep all over the parking lot and
Right, but
sling
so-
you around, giggling the whole time.
Can you but so what do I need to do to prevent that? Do I need to lock the
not do
wheels?
Hook a toe strap around
No,
the
okay.
fire hydrant or something.
With all things being equal, this is
All
a great
things being
question.
equal.
All things being equal, weight, people, is it just the skill, or is it the draw? It's the who gets momentum first.
Is there the truth that there's some skill involved in the technical side of off-roading? Yes. but for just straight tug of war, skill, maybe a little bit, but it really does come down to, honestly, not just the horsepower. It comes down to
because you got that crazy engine.
footprint of your tires. All right.
Your
Because
tires are bigger.
yeah, but that it doesn't necessarily mean I have a larger footprint. What I mean by footprint is, here's my tire, all right? But with the road underneath, you see how it's only touching the road right there to right there. So my tire being this wide, I'm literally, the only part of the tire that was touching is only about that much.
Okay, so
Right.
I need to lessen my air.
Let your air out, and that increases your contact patch on the road. Now, and that works great for literally for all of you. If you're in sand or loose surfaces like that, lower the tire pressure down. Like if I'm in
much?
sand, I'll go all the way down to 10 pounds.
10 pounds of pressure?
10 pounds of pressure.
Ooh.
Yesterday, because the rocks in Moab are so sticky, I only went down to 20 pounds, and I didn't do it for traction. I did it to soften all the bumps when we were driving.
To create more of a shock system.
Shocks help some,
more of a
but if you have
luxury ride.
soft tires,
Wait, this is fascinating. So if I lower my pressure and I get more surface covered, I have a shot at this, but you have a crazier engine.
yes,
So I don't got a shot
Crazy.
at this.
crazy engine. It talks sometimes, and it's
Like Kit, like Knight Rider?
no, much worse than that. Much worse than that.
Well,
It'll
okay.
growl at you and shit. Growl
Okay.
at you.
Are you kind and as educational when Dana asks you a question?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She quickly wants to get out of the Jeep whenever I'm on anything crazy, and
Take the photo. You need a photographer and a scribe. So it's good to get out of the Jeep
yeah.
in case it's going to tip that way. Because I feel like the driver gets the upside, right? Or the downside.
Depends which way you're going on the hill.
Is it
You
June?
are natural blonde, aren't you? That just died dark.
What are you talking about?
She is natural blonde. The truth comes out.
I'll show you some fitness pictures. I'm from Jersey. Of course, I was blonde at some point. I was every color.
That's artificial intelligence.
It's part of
Artificial intelligence.
That's why I need our memory chocolates because I can't remember from all the dye in my head. It's now catching up to me. Is this fun for you?
Yes.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
glad. So this is Carl's and I. It's our first date. We've had blind dates for the last 2 years. So I did look up on my computer, and the first email I sent you was 1/25/21. So just coming outside of the year of the lockdown.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And you're like, yeah, we'll meet, we'll talk. And then Eric was like, I'm coming to see you. In like that, I was like, Eric, that's a little aggressive.
No, it worked out good because I'm big on helping people get prepared because there are dark clouds on the horizon, people. There really are. And when you look at your own situation, right, because that's what you need to do. You need to make that list. Hey, this is what we need here. Obviously, if you're down on the coast, you need to worry about hurricanes, right? Hello, thank you for Mother Nature for making that point for me. But the guys that live in Kansas, they don't worry about hurricanes as much, but they got to worry about tornadoes. If you live in Chicago, you have to worry about drive-bys and stuff like that. Whatever your situation is, you need to decide and prioritize which items of preparedness. And it's not just tangible things you hold in your hands. A lot of those items for preparedness are training and things like that. Finding like-minded individuals in your area to be part of your extended auxiliary. But about the same time, me and my wife started like, hey, how do we do this? This store-bought dried milk does not keep. It doesn't keep. What about eggs? What about this? What about that? And when you reached out, it was like, hey, this is exactly what I needed in my life right now is shelf stable, long-term food storage that was also good for you. Cause I'm not big on just putting empty calories in. When I do stuff, guys, and I know I'm out of the military now, I'm a fag, I'm a former action guy. right? So, but I always look at, if I was going to be up on that mountain in Afghanistan in the sniper hide site, would this be something that I would want to have in my mountain rucksack to heat on my little Whisper Light stove to keep my body going? And yeah, you guys showed up with, hey, we're not just another shelf stable company doing freeze dried foods. We're putting more into it. We're making it better for you. And I was like, and I understood it was going to be a little more expensive, but if you look at what you guys are actually putting into it, that's what the body needs. Because if you're ever in a survival situation, or if you're ever in a combat situation, I mentioned up in the hide site on the mountain in Afghanistan, you can't hump in very much stuff, right? So you've got to bring water, you got to bring food, but you also got to bring all the batteries for the radios and all the spotting scopes and SATCOM radios and SATCOM antennas. All this weight adds up. So you want calorie dense foods that are also good for you. And so, yeah, you showed up at just the right time in my life. And working with nutrient survival, I enjoy doing this.
Eric definitely has showed up. Eric has done some crazy. I mean, I couldn't believe he went to Operation Valkyrie. Like, I was like, he's gonna die.
No,
No,
I
and then
told
he
you,
came-
I promised you I wouldn't let him
No,
die.
I just thought
I
he was.
promised you I'd let him come
now
close.
now that he's gone. Now that he's, I'm gonna put this on.
So
Tag
Carl, here's a question that's
All right.
kind of touching us. But,
Okay.
So from Gray, do I have to pronounce this? Shashin leader Ramzan, whoever, is sending his 3 sons, 14, 15, and 16, to war in Ukraine, and that they received combat training for years. Have you ever faced child soldiers in combat? Do you think child soldiers can be combat effective?
Face what soldiers in combat?
child, like these
Child
young
soldiers.
kids, 14, 15.
No, I personally, I won't say that I haven't. A lot of times, understand that probably 85, 90% of the assaults that my unit did were in the dark. All right. So if you're up in the hide site, you breach the door, we go in, the whole target's secure in 90 seconds. After that, you might be there an hour or so while they exploit the target. You're doing sensitive site exploitation, pulling hard drives, interviewing prisoners, all the non-combatants and stuff. That takes time. Where are all the bad guys then? They're all outside. And so you go up on the roof. I would do the assaults with the SR-25. But if you go up on the roof, all the bad guys with their AKs, they all stay back at 300 meters because they know they can't shoot 300 meters with their AKs and it's dark. So 300 meters is right where I want you in the dark, because that's where an SR-25 with a PVS-22, that's the best spot, 300 meters. But my point though is when you're looking through a night vision scope on a sniper rifle, anybody moving around, it's very, very hard to tell what the age was. It doesn't matter if it's a male or a female. No, it doesn't. Here's the deal. It's either a threat, it's not a threat, or it's a threat that warrants deadly force, because not all threats warrant deadly force. Right. So whether it's a male or female, whether it's a child or an adult, it doesn't matter. Is it a threat? Is it not a threat? If it's a threat, is it a threat that actually warrants deadly force? And most of the time, they're not. They're not. I got other. Okay. Joe S. asks, Carl, do you have the packing list for the Patreon course? Yes and no. I'm working on a round count list for that course. Where he's talking about the class in
Nick has
Texas
arrived.
for my Patreon.
Eric is commenting from somewhere else because I'm Eric here. So your son is now arrived. Nice. Maybe they'll make it back.
Eric
here.
went to go pick up my son, Nicholas. If you guys have been watching our videos here lately, you'll see that our editing quality has gone up a little bit. And it's not that it's technically gotten better. It's just my son is putting more love into making our videos a little cinematically better. We're trying to not be as boring, because my whole thing when we started the channel was I want to teach people, right? So if the task is to teach somebody how to put on a tourniquet, to me, all right, the steps should be easy so that people can watch it once or twice and get it. That doesn't get views. It doesn't get people to come back. You need to deliver the information, but you've also got to make it entertaining. Otherwise, you guys won't stay through the whole video. And so a lot of our videos are boring. I got that. I'm completely fine with that. But
Boring might just save your life, though.
Exactly. But you can take a boring video that would save your life, and my son spices it up with angry white man music and fancy B-roll footage and sizzle reel and putting video clips together. He's doing a great job with it. He is. He's doing a great job.
I think you should make the AK burner. And I think that would really be some good content right there. Some like infomercials for the AK burner. No? Okay, so this is why I'm not boring.
She's not boring. Okay. All right. So anyways, my son, I understand my son didn't, he got a degree in journalism.
Musician as well, correct?
He's a musician. Yeah, self-taught how to play piano. He's awesome. He's a lead singer in a death metal band. I'm very proud of my son. I love my son to death. My daughter as well. But he started with like a music degree, and then he came home because he's passionate about playing the piano. He came home and he's like, Dad, all a music degree teaches you is how to be a high school music teacher. And I hated my high school music teacher. So I'm like, look, Nick, pick any major you want. I don't care. But what matters is master the English language and learn how to use computers. And even if you don't know what you want to do in life, those would be a good base, and you can build off of that. So he was going to a small college that only offered certain degrees. So he ended up going with journalism, knowing that journalism is dead. There are no printed newspapers that hire anybody new. They just don't. Everything's online now and everything. So, but it was the one major for that small college where he would master the English language and learn a lot of these computer skills. And part of that was social media and editing of videos and stuff like that. So when I asked him to learn how to use the cameras with the film crew, and because we needed one more cameraman, he picked it up very, very quick. But then the editing part of it, I told him what program they were using, and he said, "Oh yeah, I used that in college." And like, you did? He said, "Yeah. It would take me a couple minutes to get refreshed on it." And whenever there's something, an effect he's wanting to do that he doesn't know how to do it, neither does the film crew up in New York City, he gets on the internet and finds a editor out there that has a video on how to do it. So my son is, he has been improving the technical aspect of our videos and the editing and making them less boring. So I hope you guys can appreciate that. 100% of the credit goes to my son, not to me. One thing I will tell you is I was not happy with a lot of our slow-mo footage. When you're shooting like ballistic gel blocks and stuff, the slower you can get it, the more enjoyable it is for you guys, less boring. I hear you. I'm trying to make it less boring. So the best way, if you had an unlimited budget, there's a camera Hollywood uses that's called a Phantom. Everything looks better on Phantom. Everything. This coffee mug looks better on Phantom.
Would I look better on Phantom?
Yeah, I think you.
That was the right answer.
I think you would. I think you would look better on Phantom.
Nice.
All right. It slows down so much. Not only can you see the bullet go by, you can see the bullet turning, and you can see the lands and grooves on it. Now, I want you to grasp how hard it would be to focus at that. This thing's doing 2,600 feet per second going by. All right. So it is awesome, but they're also insanely expensive. even to rent them, it's like stupid expensive. But we found another camera that is 4 times slower than the $10,000 camera we're using right now. And it's still not slow enough to capture a supersonic bullet, but it's very close. And we shot some gel blocks. We've got a couple videos coming up. We just rented the camera for a couple of days, trying to decide if we can afford to buy one or not. It's not very expensive, but it's not very expensive as far as cameras go. But understand, we don't make a lot of money. We get demonetized a lot. So we're trying to get by with what we can. And that's why I rely on my patrons so much, because they're the ones that help me put my daughter through college, basically. So we'll see. We may just keep renting this camera. But yeah, you guys are going to love that slow-mo footage when it comes out. I wish I had Nick to show you a little
So
clip
Nick,
of it.
we inherited Nick too. Nick does some social for us, and we took advantage of that little link.
He's moonlighting on me.
We did. It was
Moonlighting.
brilliant. We're so glad he introduced us. So again, we see quality people and we snatch them, or at least share them. At least share them a little bit.
Snatch was probably the better word.
Snatch, is that
That's
wrong?
okay. Yeah.
If you saw it in slow-mo on the Phantom, I would take it back. Do you need some water? You haven't drank anything.
That was
Hydrate.
good coffee, by the way. That was good
Hydrate.
coffee.
You gotta hydrate. It's making me nervous. I brought you 2 things of water and he hasn't had a sip because he's a chatterbox. No? On your live stream, do you drink water?
Usually Cafe Patron XO.
Well, that sounds like a fun live stream. We could have provided that for you. We are so not.
No, I got to drive back to the hotel. So
Drive to the hotel. I'm sure Nicholas is coming.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, so you were talking about when we hooked up and I was like, hey, do you want to do like promote our stuff or just check it out? It was more like check it out, because when we first started, we realized we had the better nutrition than the AR. What's the thing that we, but Eric would kill me, like better than special ops grade. And so we started to realize that, you know what, we need to find people who care about nutrition and care about what they put in their body. So this, I mean, that was early on as our brand was starting to grow. So I was like, I'm just going to take a gamble at some of these special ops people.
Wow.
And sometimes they answer, sometimes they don't. I was like, these people are like, for me, I was like, they're calling me back. They're calling me back. He wants to meet up. And then you got aggressive Eric. I'll fly out there to meet you. I'm like, okay, see ya.
I thought that was kind of cool. That he wanted.
No.
He's like, I want to shake your hand, talk to you man to man. All right, cool.
And that's what you will see from most of our partners, that we are the people that you deal with. We are the people that you talk to. We want to have relationships with our partners. We want to help them out, whatever their endeavors are. You know, you help us up by believing in our product and using our product, not just because it's a return, but it's because you actually like it. So that's how I always start. Like, here, let me send you stuff. If you think this will serve a need for your people and for yourself, then this is great. This can work. If it doesn't, then I don't want you to try to put the square peg in the round
I told
hole.
them early on, I'm not lying for you. I like some of their products. There's a couple I
he
don't
was a
like.
critic. I can bring up the email for our critic. He said, I think you should change this one. And we actually did.
Yeah, they did.
We actually did.
Yep.
We actually did.
I got a question here from Marvin. What's up, Marvin? You gotta
Marvin?
go. You gotta go like this. Sup, Marvin.
From Jersey, sup.
With your chin. Sup.
So,
New York City drummer 23. That's Marvin. Marvin. Sup.
my
Marvin.
daughter lives in Brooklyn.
Asks, do you have experience with titanium nitrate bolt carrier groups over regular black nitride? And does titanium nitride have more wear resistant properties? Honestly, I have zero.
What is he even asking?
I have, what he's talking about is your M16 AR-15 family of rifles.
Okay.
Has, if you were to separate the upper and the lower receiver and pull the charging handle, you have this piece of metal that comes out. It's called a bolt carrier group.
Okay, great.
It has a bolt on the front of it. The firing pin runs down the middle. You have your cam pin and then your cam pin retaining pin.
I need some of that Patron.
Anyways,
what is going on?
what he's talking
here?
about is there are different coatings that you can put on these things to cut down on wear. Honestly, Marvin, all my experience has been with the
Is it a powder
M4
or
versions,
oil?
and it's the military ones have always served me well. Is having the other coatings on them better? You need to lubricate them less, maybe, but your bolt carrier group only touches the inside of the upper receiver on the very bottom rails, and then just a little bit on the sides. It's not touching very much at all. I don't get hung up on fancy coatings and stuff. If your gun's dragging, she's getting sluggish, you got to run that AR like a whore. You really do. She likes it hot and wet. Lots of oil on it. Keep that bolt running.
You laughing at the comments about me?
No, nothing wrong.
Fun. Just saying.
All right.
I'm
yeah.
not confused. I'm just.
I don't
being
clean my
educated.
guns very often. I don't, but just more and more break free on it, more lubricant on it. Clean big chunks of dirt if you get a lot of mud and dirt in there. But carbon, your carbon's really got to build up a lot before it'll shut those guns down. More oil on it, and then when the bolt actually gets that bad, pull it out, drop it in the in your sonic cleaner, clean out your chamber and the barrel, put it back together. You're good for another 5,000-6,000 rounds. Literally, everybody's like, "Oh, you got to keep it clean." AR runs better, dirty. No, AR rifles they run great. They run great.
So-
Becky is confused.
No,
Look
listen,
at
you
her
can't
face.
offend me in any way because I really don't know. So I'm just asking. And I said how he asked us, like if his wife asked him a question, is he patient? I think that was a pretty decent answer for me having no idea what you're talking about.
Yes.
So, but I do understand a little bit now.
Yes. There you go.
I didn't know if he's asking for a part.
No,
He's asking for
the
lubricant.
reality is that you guys, some of you want to give Becky a hard time for not knowing what a bolt carrier group is, but the reality is a lot of you consider yourself awesome gunslingers, and you're well trained, and you take classes and everything. Honestly, I challenge you. How about your family? Here's the deal. Everybody knows the rules of firearm safety. Everybody knows you need to store firearms safely. You need to keep them from where kids can get to them. When people come to take a class, I ask them, "Hey, how many guns do you own?" He's like, "Well, I own like 20 guns. How many do you have here?" "I have 2. So where are the rest of them?" "They're at home." They're at home with your family. Does your family know how to use them? And even if your family's like, my wife's not a gun girl, she's not, but she knows how to unload and load them. She knows how to shoot them. She doesn't practice as much as I do. Hell, I don't practice as much as I need to. But all of your family members should know how to properly handle, if nothing else, just how to clear them, how to make sure that they're on safe, how to make sure that they're not loaded. And if it is loaded, know how to handle the fire, either know how to unload it, or if they can't do that, the reality is some of your family members may not have the strength to pull back some of the operating systems on larger guns. They don't need to. Make sure it's on safe and take it, move it to a safer room. If there are kids around, whatever, they can pick up your slack because you left stuff laying there. So rather than bash people for not knowing enough about guns, how about we educate the people to our left and right? Because the reality is your family doesn't have all the knowledge that they have, and neither do you. If you rely on, like I rely on my Aunt Helen, because my Aunt Helen knows how to do the canning. My wife used to help my Aunt Helen and her mom can tomato, or they'd make salsa, all kinds of good stuff.
I can cook. Can I just ask you? So my tactic is to show up at one of my partner stores. I just have to get there, but I'm not going to mooch. I'm going to do my part.
Okay. There you go.
Clean, protect, raise children. Like, what do you need? What could I do? You got a whole hill. Like, I know you got like a whole, you got a whole country. So I'm not sure you need me. I probably won't go to your house first because it's kind
You're
of
probably not going to make it to my hill.
No,
but,
I'm probably going to get to Eric's house first.
Eric's house. Go to Eric's house.
I said Eddie Penny. He's in Texas. He's probably a little closer first.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get behind. I'm going to be like,
No, the people, right? Because you should, everybody that says, well, shit, I know the guy up the street, he's got everything. I'm going to just shoot him and take his stuff. You understand?
kinda
That's
have to
not
try
a
to
good
do that,
plan.
you
That's
know.
not a good plan. It's not a good plan.
but I'll be part of the community. Like
yeah,
I'm not going to move.
no,
I can do whatever.
a team needs, you need
What's your
everybody.
missing
You
part?
need
Let me know later.
mechanics. You need medical personnel. You need people with ham radio licenses,
I can
cooking.
cook. I can clean. I could be taught. I'm a good learner. You could teach me to whatever.
Full
Probably not.
security.
I don't
Weed
like
the
clothes.
garden.
Weed the garden.
Pick the bugs off of the tomato plants.
I could clean the whatever you just talked about.
The bolt carrier group.
I could do that. You teach me once. I could. Everybody could just come home, put their guns down, and I'll clean it. And you guys take it back out the next day. I feel like I could do that. Like you probably don't want to do that at the end of a hard day of protecting the family in the hill. Like I will clean the blah, blah, blah.
the blah, blah, blah.
Again, I will learn my first thing is to learn what it is. And then the second thing is to learn what things I need to do to it and how to take it apart, put it back together correctly. Spare parts, I can be taught. I'm basically your Laverne and Shirley of cleaning and lubricating
There you go.
your guns. You're welcome.
Uh,
I feel like that would contribute.
yes. All right. Now,
I don't feel you were not sold on that.
we're at 2 hours,
Okay.
and we've only got 160 people here, but that's all right. We've had a good night tonight. We have. I'll tell you what, guys. I got a long drive. My son Eric's gonna be bringing my son back. We're gonna go grab some dinner, and then me and my son, we're sharing a hotel. I'm not gonna tell you what resort we're staying at because I don't want you guys
Becky's
stalking
bolt
me.
cleaning service. That could go with the
Beck-
burner AK,
Becky's bolt
cleaning
carrier
service
group
and burner
cleaning
AKs.
service and burner AKs and barbecue
I need a t-shirt with barbecue barbershop
and barbershop.
and barbershop. Okay, you know it. It's my next game.
Eric,
Eric, are
you're
you
in
still
good
watching
hands.
this?
Your hill here. Becky's going to take care of you. I encourage you guys to find good people around you. Eric's got Becky.
I'm not the sharpest
here.
knife in the drawer, but I'm good people.
I've got good people
I'm
at
honest
my
that I
hill.
don't know things. I'm
I
not
do.
arrogant. Okay.
I do. I got good people at my hill. We're going to wrap this up tonight. I want to thank Nutrient Survival for welcoming me into their little home here. I'm going to be filming a tour of the factory here because there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people haven't thought about. And it's so much more than just a can and them dumping stuff in it and putting a lid on it. There's a lot that goes into making this
Your
thing
people
shelf
are
stable.
telling me that you have videos on all this stuff. Well, I really need to pay attention to what Tactical Rifleman's doing.
She needs to go to the archive for
Oh,
about a month
and I
and
need
a
to go
half
on
and
his
just watch all
courses.
my stuff.
Some all your courses. You would kick me out. I
All
would
right.
get kicked out.
I want to thank my moderators for hanging out and sending me questions. I think I got all of them. That's from you. Got
Okay,
not
they
on your
want
hill.
of the people. New video. Teach Becky how to strip and assemble an AR.
There you go. And honestly, guys, I have great people everywhere,
Take
not just
Becky.
on my hill. I've got my moderators
Yeah,
and
shout
I've
out
got
to the
great
mods.
people everywhere. I do.
Donut
All right,
eater. Do you really eat donuts? I don't know your mom.
Nahil Human asks, how long do you think it will be until advanced nations invade weaker ones, mainly Africa, South America, for their food and fertile land? Honest, guys, I know a lot of people are looking forward to the Boogaloo. I ask you not to do that. Everybody saying that things are getting worse and worse, and our country is so divided. You can look all back through American history. We've always been divided. We have. America came together, both parties, right after Pearl Harbor. America came together right after the towers fell. But other than that, you pull up old newspaper archives. We've been at each other's throats nonstop through history. And it's not just us. All these countries are like that. They are. Is China trying to be colonial and get out there. Yeah, don't bash China for doing it because that's what the whole former Soviet Union did. Don't bash them for doing it because that's exactly what the British and French Empire did before that. So did America. We have been building colonies all across the world. That's what nations do. So the Chinese are better at it than we are right now. But as far as people going to take with weapons, using force to take fertile land, they don't need to. You can just look at how much farmland here in the U.S. has been bought by Chinese companies, civilian companies, but understand it's a communist country, so they're all owned by the Chinese government. It doesn't matter. This is not our channel. We don't get deep into politics here because I'm going to offend 80% of you. And you guys, no, Carl, we're only going to offend half of us. That's not true. It's not, because my views are my views. And for everyone to think, well, we're split down the middle, we're not. There is the extreme left, there is the extreme right, but there's a lot of people in the middle that are divided, and a lot of their things overlap. A lot of your beliefs overlap. And so I don't like to talk politics and stuff. Rather than wondering when these things are going to happen overseas, I encourage you to watch international news because a lot of times they don't sugarcoat things that are happening in America. So like BBC, a bunch of other companies. I want to caution you against just getting your news from Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok and all the other
TikTok?
crap.
Is that what you call it here?
Yeah, Jibbity Jack, all these other, understand people are allowed to say whatever they want. And, you know, the videos of this guy saying this, you can pull the original clip. Those were not the words coming out of his mouth. So my reason for saying that is there's a lot of tin hat stuff, but there's a lot of people that are deliberately putting stuff out there to just, they want to divide you. They think it's funny. Don't ignore it. Ignore it. Pray for peace, prepare for war. And
I need to write that one down. I like that.
She does understand I haven't had an original saying my entire life.
No, I know.
Okay.
But I like words.
Okay.
You know?
Pray for peace.
I got it.
Pray
Prepare
for
peace.
peace.
Pray
Pray for peace. Prepare for war.
I just like that. Just cover your bases, people.
Lawyers, you ready? Lawyers.
No, I'm not writing this one down.
Lawyers
This is a
should
setup.
come right between deer and turkey season.
I knew it.
Okay.
I felt it.
You felt that you probably shouldn't wite that one down?
I just
All right.
knew it because you're like Eric that way. Like Eric and I, like we've only had 5 minutes together. I can see this going.
That's not on a t-shirt. We can't put that one on a t-shirt.
Someone asked, so Carl is coming on. We do have a YouTube channel, and Carl will be on our live stream. Carl's gonna
that's gonna be
he's gonna meet the Wolfpack
Friday.
Friday
The
at
Wolfpack. What time? Friday.
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Pacific Standard Time.
That's 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern.
It's a lot of math.
Yeah, math out there.
Yeah, so
it's gonna be great.
It's weird.
Hey, don't let me down, guys, because I don't want to be the only one sitting here with the Wolfpack. I expect to see some asylum people there Friday, 2 p.m.
That's gonna be put up your patch, put up the wolf. The wolf's gonna fight the flag. No, we're one big family. It's one prepping nation under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all. But that wasn't.
Right.
I've never had an original quote in my life.
Okay. No, that one's yours. These two are mine.
All right, we
All
coined it. I got that one. You get those two.
Yep, I got these two.
And for
Thank
Eric,
you,
I know
Wolfpack.
Eric would. I sent it in there. Remember, I've been commenting under Eric. I actually think he's commenting from his phone somewhere because some of the stuff is not what I said. So all the Erics have been me and the Beckys have been Bobby's. But from Bobby and Eric, we thank you for letting us pop on and be part of this and meet your community.
Been great.
So super exciting.
Again, thanks all my moderators out there, all the hard work. Susan, JT, Donut, all you guys, thanks for everything you do. For all the, again, if you guys want to join us Friday, it's on the Nutrient Survival YouTube channel, right?
Yep, it's nutrient
Now,
survival.
next Tuesday, I will be back in Moab, Utah, in my campsite. If we are in the back same campsite, I do have decent cell phone signal there. So again, I'll run it off my laptop, and we'll do it right from my camper, and we'll all live happily ever after. It's going to be a great live stream. That'll be next Tuesday, same bat time, same bat channel, and if I can't get the Wi-Fi to work, I'll call Steve Holland and I'll have him do it with my son Nicholas.
We have a howl. What do you guys do to like asylum out?
You have a howl,
Like howl, get you later. Howl, yeah.
You guys understand? You're probably not getting me to do a howl.
No, not us. But I want to know. I want to be part of your community. What do you guys do? Like high five or just like tactical rifleman out?
What we do is we say, y'all take care and shoot straight.
Perfect.